Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a month, a lot longer than I wanted it to be and Rob wanted it to be. We've both been busy. My regular detailing business is starting to get to the point where I'm getting ready to focus on getting everything going with that. If you look around, we did get some more of the garage done. We're not totally done with it yet though. That whole sidewall over there is done, and I've got the ceiling done to about here. So I've got a little bit more to do on the ceiling. And the crazy part is that Friday, so today's Sunday, Friday I did that whole wall over there, and I think it took me the amount of time that it took to do 9 of the ceiling. So the walls are obviously easier for people that don't normally do insulation. But you guys have been waiting for, well, since November, if you've been following the channel for a while. I've been waiting 3 months. You guys have now been waiting 4 months, but something is finally back that I've been waiting for a very, very long time. So as you can see, the truck is finally back, thank God. Working with GM wasn't probably the most fun on this because the biggest thing I was waiting on for 3 months was the headliner. Really about 2.5 months, and then the dealership was the last 2 weeks of the whole process to total out to being 3 months. The service department and the body shop were like 5 miles apart from each other. This goes over, I wanted an oil change done, it needed to go over, get the airbags reset. There was a recall on it, and then there was another thing. There was something else that needed to go over. There's 4 things to, wheel alignment. That was the 4th thing I needed to go over for. And every day it went over, it'd come back and they only did 1 thing. So it took them 4 days just to get the stuff that they were supposed to do in 1 day done. And then there was an issue with the whole airbag module, but I digress. GM was a nightmare to deal with. I'd call, they couldn't really give me answers. They didn't want to do anything for payments. The only thing they could refund me was the OnStar payments, a whole whopping $15 a month. So if any of you run into this, just be prepared to know that when you buy a truck of this caliber for this much money, well, General Motors doesn't care and they're not going to honor it for you. But let's come in a little closer and we'll take a look at the truck. And you know, one newest thing you'll notice is I have brand new tires on it as of yesterday. I just bought. They're expensive. Wasn't really a big fan of that. But the truck itself, when I had the accident, nothing happened to the truck. The plow took the brunt of it. Like I said, the biggest thing I was waiting on was the headliner. They had the side curtain airbags. They got relatively quick. Both of these front pillar covers are brand new because when the airbags blew out, it actually warped the plastic and destroyed them. But since I got the truck back, I really haven't had any issues that I've noticed with it. I got in it and drove it home, and it was like the day I drove it into the power pole. It never really felt any different. So kind of, I guess some of what we're going to talk about now is what it's like owning. So this is the L5P Duramax. I've got almost 26,000 miles on it, and it's 3 years old now. I bought it brand new back in 2022. Some things to kind of look out for when you buy these trucks. Some issues are the injectors can go bad. Knock on wood. The only issue I've had with this truck is the DEF system. The heater is gone in it. It's the only issue I had with the truck. And now with the whole EPA thing, and there's a possibility talking that it might not be federally illegal anymore to delete your trucks. If that's the case, that might be coming in the future because the bumper-to-bumper warranty is done on this. I don't know what it's going to do if I delete the truck for the powertrain warranty because obviously I don't want to affect that. But this has the CP4. I'd like to get the conversion to put the CP3 fuel pump in it because the CP4s are just noted to explode, and then you're thousands of dollars down the hole. So we're going to jump in. We're going to go for a little ride, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the truck. Right now the stretch we're going on is actually the stretch that I took the day I got into the accident. I wasn't far from home. What do you figure out? Maybe a mile and a half.
About a mile.
And I just had left actually Rob's mom's house, plowing the driveway over there. I ran to the local convenience store to get some stuff we needed for dinner. And I was coming back and I just lost the road totally. And it could be that the tires that were on it, I mean, they were pretty much like racing slicks. So it could be that. I don't really know. To this day, I'll probably never know what happened. Experience for everybody. If you're driving a truck with a plow, don't do what I did and put the plow down. If I'd have just set the plow down, I would have never hit the pole. So we're actually coming up right at the top of this hill. You'll see the nice new power pole that my insurance company paid for, which I guess I paid for. Right here. This would be the power pole that I bought. That's nice, isn't it? We'll turn around and then you can get a good look at how far up the bank I actually went. So I'm pretty sure I was about here when I started losing control, and I was sliding off like this. And I remember trying to get into the ditch enough to stop. And I didn't realize the end of this where we're on right now was all paved, and I just kept gaining more momentum. And then I was pretty much like this, and you can see right where my tire went up the bank, and then I slid down into the hole. That was pretty hair-raising. And I guess from what General Motors told me is that because the angle of the truck, that's why the airbags on the side deployed. The truck thought it was going to roll over. I didn't know this, at least on these trucks. I don't know about other ones. You got to be going more than 5 miles an hour in order for the front airbags to deploy. So that tells me right there, I was not doing more than 5 miles an hour when I hit that power pole. Everybody was busting my stones about it, saying, "Oh, you were flying." I wasn't even doing 5 miles an hour when I hit the pole. It just snapped because that pole is probably 100 plus years old, and well, the truck with the plow on weighed probably over 9,000 pounds. So that's quite a bit of weight to go into it. Thankfully, as I said before in the previous video, which you haven't seen it, go back and look at it. Thankfully, my daughter wasn't in the truck. She really wanted to go with me, and I'm glad she didn't, because when I hit the pole, I remember going like this and having to lean way over because I just thought I was going to roll the truck over anyways. Because if I missed the pole, I was going to keep right on going up the bank, and I'd have rolled the truck right over, probably up on its roof. And that would have been it. I would have totaled this thing. But I'm pretty grateful that I have it back. I mean, I miss this thing. I was gracious enough to have Robert's mom and stepdad's truck. It was great for 2 months, but I'm glad to have this back. I mean, this is just... Rob always jokes with me, "What's the one thing I do with my vehicles, Rob?"
Trade them in.
Way too often. Usually about 2 years I'm trading them in. I don't even have the itch with this one. I've had the truck for 3 years now. I still don't have the itch traded in yet. So let's go do a little more cruising around. So now we're back. We did our little riding around, which was nice. So as I started to say before, things to look out for when you have these trucks. Something that doesn't, I guess, get talked about a lot is like some of the maintenance is kind of expensive. Oil changes, you're going to run about $200 normally at the dealership. I'm real meticulous about taking this to dealership because I want the Carfax to look clean. Granted, now I got a ding on it for the accident, so that's going to be on the Carfax, but I don't care because I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. The other thing that like nobody talks about is the fuel filters on these things. They're actually located underneath the back end of the cab, right at the front of the box. You got to do that every other oil change. And those are going to run you, this is crazy. The fuel filter is like about $35 at the parts store. To get it done at the dealership, you're going to spend almost $200. I think it's just because of the hazardous material. I do it here. I just pull the truck in. Normally I pull it in here, and we'll do that part of the service here. Other than the tires, though, and the DEF system, I really haven't done anything to it. Just drive it. I had to change over the wiring system for the plow when I got the new plow because the old plow was 3-wire. This was 2-wire from Fisher. Crazy easy. And this truck came with a plow prep package. I didn't know, but on the firewall, there's a nipple that sticks out. They cut the end of it off, and then they just fish the wire through. I'm like, wow, that cuts the time down. Normally, you're jamming it through a hole and everything else. So kudos to Chevy on that when they designed it. Not real crazy with their claims department, but other than that, I really have had no issues with this truck. Like I said, people claim issues about fuel injectors. Thankfully, I haven't had any issues. Hopefully, I don't. The other issues these trucks will have is they have a CP4 pump on them, and they're not the greatest. The CP3 was a little bit better. The diesel fuel now doesn't have the lubricity that diesel fuel did years ago, so these pumps don't really hold up so well. And when they go in Grenade, you're looking at well over $1,000 if you don't have a warranty, because it's going to destroy the whole system. From the tank itself has to come out, all of your injectors, the motor's pretty much got to get tore apart. It's a mess. So they make a CP3 conversion. I might look in the future to put that back on the truck. And then if we can actually delete the truck and get rid of the emission system, this truck will probably go 500,000 miles and I will never have an issue with it. So I guess some of the things we're going to talk about next is what we plan on doing in here. This is probably on the list of things that needs to get done. I've had the car for almost 2 years. This will be the second year of me owning it. I've so far only done, in the past, you guys have watched the rear weather stripping on this rear hatch. I need to do the rest of it. I have it. I just need to do it. The problem is time consumes us a lot. I still need to finish. You'll notice that probably since the last time you guys saw a video, this side looks a little bit more organized. You know, yeah, this workbench isn't pretty nice, but same thing with the air compressor. They're very sentimental to me because my grandfather actually owned both of these. So I probably am never going to do anything to change them. They were his. That's the way they were when he passed away, and I'm never going to change it. So I've kind of got everything, I think, laid out the way I want it. It's a little bit easier and organized. I got a lot more room on the side since I got the shed to get everything out of here. Rob and I are going to start working on probably the next couple of videos. We need to get the rest of the insulation done. That front room, we're going to gut it right down to the studs, insulate it, re-sheet rock it, and that's going to be kind of like our studio office area. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you got the bell notification on. And if you like the video, throw a like. Even leave a comment. We'll really appreciate it. It's middle of March. Do I think we could hit 400 subscribers? Probably not. Would I like to? That would be awesome. So please, if you haven't, because we are noticing a lot of you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And you'll have to come back next week and see what we do. Did you hear that? The car just hit like a grenade went off out there. We'll cut that out. That'll be a little cut scene for you at the end. All right, you can stop recording.